And now, First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith.
Hey folks, we're live tonight on South Padre Island where the water is warm. We walked out as far as I could go without getting my pants wet, and it's certainly in the low 80s. It's not something you usually experience until maybe August into September, something like that, and the water will continue to warm up. And this is an area we watch this time of year, not necessarily right here, but the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, for where tropical systems tend to develop early in the season. It's too early for systems to come off the coast of Africa because there's still too much shear across the Atlantic Ocean. But here in this general area, take a look at the graphic, and it kind of shows where things tend to breed early in the year. So look at the month of June, and you can see that as we go in tight, the Gulf of Mexico, the Western Caribbean, and right on the east coast of the U.S. That's where things tend to develop during the month of June. Now, we've not had a lot of strikes in June. We've had a few, but not very many. Typically, the bigger storms come later in the year, but the issue now is that the water temperature is so warm, that doesn't mean anything's more likely to form right here, but if something does come right here, you've got that water to act as fuel to keep it going or maybe even help it intensify a little bit. So that's what you keep an eye on when you've got that unusually warm water that you don't usually see until later in the year for maybe late rapid intensification of something that gets into this area. Remember, the Eastern Gulf was cooler than normal, so that's, at least for now, good news for the folks over there where they're in the loop current where rapid intensification is not all that unusual. Now, our computer model does show moisture kind of streaming into this region. We're starting to see a pattern shift, if you will, from the winter-spring pattern into a more summer-like pattern, a tropical pattern, and that opens the door for moisture from the tropics. And we're already seeing a little bit of it in tomorrow. That combined with a little upper disturbance will give us that chance for scattered showers, even a thunderstorm tomorrow. Nothing heavy, but that moisture flow is with us as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, through the rest of the week. We look down to the Caribbean, and in particular, just east of Honduras and Nicaragua, an awful lot of moisture down there that likely is going to start working its way off to the west-northwest and may move into the Western Gulf by the early part of next week. So then it's a question of what happens to it once it gets there. You're talking about tropical development? Well, that's possible. Is that the only scenario? No. It could just be something that goes into Mexico down to our south. Some of the models bring a significant amount of moisture our direction, giving us some pretty good rain a week from now. But that's a week from now. Let's get from here to there first and talk about what we expect between now and then, because I think this is, when you start going 7 to 10 days out, models are about 50-50 at best. So let's look at what's going on across the valley right now. Our temperatures at this hour across the area are all relatively warm. For this time of year, we're maybe just a couple degrees above normal, but not dramatically so. 103 in Rio Grande City, 91 in Harlingen. Port Isabel at the Cameron County Airport, it's 87 degrees, and we're at about that here. It's not much warmer than that, but the humidity is quite high here on the beach as well. Look at the dew points, and you can see that coastal dew points are always higher, and in Port Isabel at the airport, the dew point is 75, and I venture to say it's probably 77 or 78 out here. It's one of those days, as soon as we got out of the car, everything fogged up. Sunglasses, everything we had fogged up. Now, here's look where we are on the Muggy meter, and we're up in the very humid category. Dew point right now, average across the valley is about 72, so we are warm, we are muggy across the region, and that's not going to change. The heat's not going to change much either. Look at the next 3 days, and temperatures are going to stay above average. The normal is 94. We're going to 96, 97, 97, but not record-breaking. So, again, above normal, but not out of range at all. The records are 99 and then a couple of 105, so really not a big deal. Let's look at SatRat across the region, see what's going on, and it shows Texas today relatively quiet, but look at all the moisture out to the east of us. Most of that's staying out there, but as the moisture increases over the valley tomorrow, we've got that slight chance for a shower or a thunderstorm, about 20%. There's been nothing today. I think there's a shot at some stuff tomorrow, but nothing particularly widespread. It'll be spotty, and then it'll move out. Future track shows what we expect, and as we go through tonight into tomorrow, clouds thicken up a little bit. An isolated shower, thunder shower is a possibility, but again, it's not something that everybody gets rained on, but you see a little green showing up on the map. So spotty showers are a good bet tomorrow. You go into tomorrow night into Wednesday, I think the moisture tries to dry out, and we go mainly dry for Wednesday. I can't completely rule something out, but I think Wednesday is a mainly dry day across the region. So our rain chances the next 3 days, I think for the most part, we're just that slight risk on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, we begin that drying process, and by Thursday, I don't think there'll be anything else around at all. If you're headed our direction to the coast, South Padre Island, Port Isabel, Laguna Madre area, here's what you can expect here. It's breezy, but not as windy as it can be. Tomorrow, winds out of the southeast, 15 to 20 miles an hour. Temperatures start in the 80s, and then just stay there most of the day. UV's extreme. The rip current risk is moderate. The surf temperature's 84. Here are the tides for you coming up tomorrow. There are a couple of them. Also see, the water finally got all the way up to us. got the camera wet. 8:58 is the high tide, the low tide you saw on the screen. So tonight, 74, mostly clear, mainly dry except Rick the cameraman's feet. Those aren't going to be dry for a while. Look ahead to tomorrow, and we're back up into the 90s across the area. South-southeasterly winds at about 10 to 15. Here's the next 7 days. Take a peek. We expect temperatures to stay at or above average. In fact, by the time you get to Thursday, you're looking at 99, and Friday and Saturday, the weekend, and Sunday, right near 100 degrees. Your chance of rain right now, the best chance is tomorrow, and even at that, it only stands at about 10%. So we've been standing here for close to an hour, and just now, the first wave came up over our feet and got the camera tripod and Rick's feet wet. That's it live on South Padre Island. Tim Smith, Channel 5 News at 6.